more time.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
Oh, there it is. The next letter is just gonna say,
Feel dirty.
Don't come. I'm going to come all over.
I'm so close, bro. I'm so close.
Deep
Oh my God. Well, that was a whole lot more voices than I'm used to in my head. An open letter to Volmit, the Crasher, the Clown, and the canceled call. Dear Volmit, you really thought you were cooking, didn't you? Strutting into the inbox of Randall Shockett, trying to schedule a 15-minute attorney-to-attorney meeting. Like you were actually part of the legal profession and not a disgraced pseudo-journalist with a track record longer than your resume. Spoiler alert. You got canceled faster than a wet sneeze in a clean room. Let's start with that sad theater you tried to stage. A meeting invite. Not a polite inquiry. Not a question posed through professional channels. No. You puffed up your fraudulence, clicked create event, and requested a sit-down with one of the most competent attorneys working in this case. You labeled it between attorneys only, as if your honorary JD from Google and your dusty old copies of Black's Law Dictionary for dumbass obsits bought at a garage sale somehow gave you standing. You weren't invited to the table, Volmit. Hell, you weren't even allowed in the restaurant. You ain't even allowed to sit in the back of the bus.
why not?
You don't qualify for a water boy. And yet, there you were, bibbed, tucked in, knife and fork in hand, drooling at the thought of getting just a sliver of the credibility you so desperately lack. And what did Shockett do? He canceled you. Flat. Cold. Publicly. No explanation. No reschedule. No diplomatic brush-off. Just an ice-cold declined. And now you're crying like a teenage girl that just can't figure out why he doesn't love me anymore.
Love me more.
Why? Because you're not a journalist. You're not an attorney. You're not even relevant. You're the guy who shows up uninvited to a wedding reception, pretends to know the groom, and gets tackled by a groomsman before you make it to the shrimp cocktail. You're that weird smell in the corner. You do this shit to me and I'm trying to sell this. You're that weird smell at the courtroom. God damn it. Here we go again. Home. You're that weird smell at the courthouse nobody can quite identify, but everyone instinctively avoids, because it's worse than a body that's been baking in the sun for a week. This wasn't just a scheduling fail. This was a public pantsing. You tried to force your way into the legal conversation and got body checked out of the room before dessert. You wanted a seat at the big boy table and instead got escorted out of the buffet line, plastic tray still in hand. And now, still nursing your bruised ego, you cling to this fantasy that you are somehow uncovering corruption because Jeremy Hales got a protective order in Ohio. You scream, "Forum shopping," like it's a magical spell. Maybe I should have done that. Formis shopamus. Like it's a magical spell. Even though you've never cited a single precedent or jurisdictional clause that supports your flaccid little conspiracy theory. Viagra's not going to help you with that. You're just regurgitating nonsense, whispered by bottom-tier gossip channels and pretending it's law, or standing out on a beach, listening to seals or the walrus bark in the wind. Meanwhile, you, the man, now, well, loosely used term, quote-unquote man, now begging for interviews from lawyers who won't even let you in the door, called Jeremy the unethical one. You accuse him of using the protective order for content, while simultaneously begging for donations and stuffing your Substack with clickbait trash about him. If projection were a crime, you'd be serving life without parole. Let's also not forget your long, greasy track record of abusing survivors, doxing critics, harassing professionals, and getting kicked out of every advocacy space that once tolerated you until they saw what you really are. A predator in the skin of a journalist, desperate for attention, praise, and Patreon money. You name-drop me, Tug, and Megan, as if we owe you a reply. Guess what, fucktard? We don't. You're beneath the floorboards. You don't even rate reaching up to scrape the shit off the bottom of my boots. You're the smell of rot under the porch. You're the fermenta cheese that nobody wants. You're a mosquito buzzing at the edge of a courtroom, easily swatted, or a flea that you might want to step on and instantly forgotten.
Oh.
You didn't get canceled because of something you said, Volmit. You got canceled because of who you are. And now you're left alone, licking your wounds, chewing your toenails in the corner in the dark, wondering why no one will take you seriously. Here's your answer. You're a fraud. You're a stalker. You're a clout-chasing leech whose expiration date hit a decade ago. And while Jeremy moves forward, while the real legal team do real legal work, and while people like me shine light on cockroaches like you, you'll be exactly where you are now, writing rage-fueled manifestos for 7 readers and waiting for the next cease and desist to hit your inbox. I know it burns, but sometimes antibiotics can help. I know you thought this meeting would be your big moment, but that grown-ups don't owe you a platform, Volmit. You can forward all the canceled invites you want. It just proves what we've known all along. Nobody wants you at the table. You're just that shitty, smelly kid nobody wants to be around. Sincerely, Shizzy Wiznut, ceiling fan to every clout fly, defender of facts, ender of frauds, and I am, and always will be, your fucking daddy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.